Hi everyone, Jen Suarez, founder CEO of Privacy Practice, where we are braving this new frontier called privacy. Welcome back to our last video in this series. In this video, we're going to outline the general privacy law elements that you will need to have in your privacy program. The list is not exhaustive, nor is it legal advice. Remember, your business is unique, and the elements that you need to have in your privacy program will be dictated by the laws that apply to you. Moreover, since this landscape is rapidly changing, we highly recommend that you develop a long-term relationship with a trusted privacy advisor. Having said that, we will still give you some general grounding in these elements and how they translate back from privacy principles. Let's jump right in. Here are 4 elements we believe should be part of every privacy program. The first is appropriate legal basis and/or permissions. For each piece of PI you collect, ask these questions. Does my business have an appropriate legal basis to collect this? Is this needed? Is it related to the task I've said I'd need it for? Does the law require I get explicit consent to collect or use this type of PI? Security measures, number 2. General data security is different than data security under privacy laws. We address this in another video, but suffices to say, for here, the thing you need to know is that you have to look at the PI you gather and ensure you have appropriate security around it. If you collect sensitive data, you may have to have even more security around those pieces of information. You should also have an incident response plan and a breach notification plan. 3. Privacy policy. By now, we all know the businesses that collect PI must have a public-facing privacy policy, often referred to as a privacy statement. Here, you'll provide a transparent description of what you collect, how you use it, who you share it with. Basically, you're covering anything that happens to that PI in its data lifecycle. Depending on the law that applies to you, you may also need to explain the legal basis you are relying on for collecting this data. You may also outline applicable data subject rights, like the right to erasure or correction or disclosure, and how to exercise them. You may also be required or want to provide information on your retention policies. At Privacy Practice, we usually get called to work with a new client because they've lost business because their privacy statement isn't compliant with applicable laws. Here are our insider tips for you on when you are doing your privacy statement. Many businesses think this is the first thing to tackle, but it's the opposite. It's the last thing you should do, and it needs to embody everything you have in place. Some businesses try to create a privacy statement using online software. Don't do this. It's not specific to your business, and you could be misrepresenting what's in place. And please, use plain English. Some companies feel that they need to use legalese. Because of this, they either avoid updating their statement because legalese is a customer turnoff, or they hide practices they don't want to disclose amidst the rubble of legal language. Don't be that company. Use plain English. Use the voice of your brand and just state the facts. Lastly, your privacy statement is a representation about your company. This means that it, like any other product or service statement you may make, falls under the FTC's authority for truth in advertising. Know what you were saying and stick with what's true. 4. Record keeping. Record keeping is mandatory. Yeah, it can be painful and tedious, but believe me, you won't think that after it saves you in an investigation. You'll want, or may be required, to create records of PI collected, how each piece of PI is processed, special permissions you might have to obtain, like explicit consent, data subject requests when they are exercising their rights, incident records and documentations of decisions, breach records. Most privacy laws state what the mandatory record-keeping requirements are. Simply operationalize this and make it part of doing day-to-day business. There is one more thing we want to share. There's another insider tip and gift from us to you. We're going to launch a series called CYA, which is our shorthand for cover your assets, but we also want to highlight it here. There's a lot of gray space where how a law works has not been determined. For example, no privacy law dictates what security measures must be in place in order for your business to be compliant. Therefore, how do you determine and defend that you made a reasonable choice? You must document these decisions sufficiently. The privacy landscape is rapidly changing. Even for privacy experts like us, we're in full sprint to keep up to date. This is why it's imperative for you to work closely with your privacy professional to document defensible decisions your business made during the times where there are undecided laws. Thanks for watching. And don't forget, drop us a line at hello@privacypractice.com if you have a topic you'd like us to discuss.